I say I was born to win. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. I say I jump over it. Now how you deep with me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. Now how you deep with me, I jump over it. They will see it. I say they will, yeah, yeah. So you forced to let me. You not let me say you forced to let me. You forced to let me. You not let me say you forced to let me. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When I can go away with you, and when I feed it with hurt. When I need it with you. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you was born to win, yeah. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. I say I jump over it. Now how you did with me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. Now how you did with me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. They can do what they do, and they can talk all they talk. They can do what they do. Hey, turn the fire the person. Holy Ghost fire the person. Turn the fire the person. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win, yeah. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. They will see a koro with a big eyeball. They will see a koro with a small eyeball. They will see a koro with a big eyeball. They will see a koro with a small eyeball. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say I jump over it. Now how you did with me, I jump over it. All I did was win, 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 win. All I did was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win, yeah. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win, yeah.
D12 on the beat.
All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. I say I jump over it. Now how you did with me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. Now how you did with me, I jump over it. They will see it. I say they will, yeah, yeah. So you forced to let me. You not let me say you forced to let me. You forced to let me. You not let me say you forced to let me. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When I can go away with you, and when I feed it with hurt. When I need it with you. All I do was win, 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 win. I do was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you was born to win, yeah. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. I say I jump over it. The whole you did for me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. The whole you did for me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. They can do what they do, and they can talk all they talk. They can do what they do. Hey, turn the fire the person, Holy Ghost fire the person. Turn the fire the person. All I do is win, 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 win. All I do is win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win, yeah. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. They will see a koro with a big apple. They will see a koro with a small apple. They will see a koro with a big apple. They will see a koro with a small apple. Jehovah bless you, no make it curse you. Jehovah bless you, no make it curse you. Eh. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say I jump over it. The whole you did for me, I jump over it. All I did was win, 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 win. All I did was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win, yeah. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win, yeah.
D12 on the beat.
All I did was win, 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 win. All I did was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. All I did was win, 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 win. All I did was win, 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 win. I say I jump over it. The whole you did for me, I jump.
Hello.
Pick up your shoe before you get struck by the thunders.
Sorry.
You are in the house of Mawu Patopa Osobolisa. There is no fear. So my son, what can I do for you today in my shrine?
Many little island know plenty. I want for them to be arrested. I want for them to go to jail. I want for them to be deported. I want for plenty bad things to happen to them. I want to hear bad news when they want to get out in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. D12 on the beat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
D12 on the beat.
If you want, yeah, my bad news, you and I, yeah, oh.
think we're good. We good, right? We good with the sound?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Joe Anderson, who is our chief technician in studio tonight. And those of you who are not hearing no sound, please give us thumbs up so that we can know. Send us messages. Those of you who are not getting any sound from this broadcast, please. Once again, I will let you know that we have Afri G Topa. And Mr. Topa is, we're just trying to make sure that you don't get a feedback from what we're doing. Like I said, we have Mr. Afri G Topa, the publisher of the People's Newspaper in the Republic of Liberia, and also board chairman, Civil Society Working Group in the Republic of Liberia. Mr. Topa is here in the US of A. He's in the States. He's in Philadelphia in studio tonight. And like I said, we just welcomed him, but somebody said they were not getting sound. We're going to be discussing politics. We're going to be discussing anything that has to do with infrastructure, business, and everything. So, Mr. Topa, I would like to welcome you once again to the G Made Cannibal Show. And you're no stranger to this because you and myself gone into this before. But I want us to start from the political landscape of Liberia. What is the situation in Liberia politically now, more especially as it relates to some of the information that was given by the president the other day? We listened to the president giving the State of the Union. How is the state of the Liberian Union?
Well, I mean, it's a complex question.
Right.
And I've responded if it was directed to a particular line. Having asked this question on a broader perspective, let me give my own input.
Right.
Firstly, let me do a disclaimer. I represent no political party.
I understand that.
I represent a media outlet,
right,
which of course I own and operate.
Right.
It's legally registered with the laws of the Republic of Liberia,
right,
People Newspaper. And I'm not here in a position as a civil society leader, but rather as a patriotic Liberian who have come to give my own understanding of the political unfoldings in the Republic of Liberia.
Right.
So it's good to do that disclaimer.
Right.
If you look at Liberia historically is a country that was founded by free slaves.
Right.
In the year 1847. And from 1847 to present, Liberia has gone through a systematic political orientation of regathering.
Right.
Where we saw past governments, the first major military incursion to the political system of all West was the coup of 1980,
right,
where the military junta under the stewardship of Master Sergeant Sam Kayando overthrew a legitimate government, which led to the People Redemption Council that later metamorphosed into the National Democratic Party of Liberia,
right,
the NDPL.
Right.
I went to the election in the mid-80s. There were claims and counterclaims,
right,
of electoral fraud and systematic error,
right,
during the electoral process. Howbeit, none of the processes went to court. We saw in the late 80s the emergence again of another military incursion under the stewardship of the convicted fellow Charles Ganye Taylor, now in England.
right,
Military junta also, the MPFL. And you know, the MPFL later on metamorphosed in the late 90s into a political arrangement called the MPP.
right.
The MPP won election in 1997. took on the Matthew Authority. And then by the in the late 90s, entering the 2000s, there were a couple of military insurgencies in the country.
Right.
Some led by Sego Damati Kone, Projected Law, Toma Yaya Nimle from Odea, and other splinter group of Liberians who believe that the approach of picking all arms, to challenge the system at the time was the only language that the president understood. In 2003, all of the parties met in Ghana. I was opportune to have a part of the comprehensive peace accord.
Right.
Led to the establishment of an internal arrangement that brought on board Julie Bryant.
Right.
And Julie Bryant steadied civil affairs from 2003 to 2005. There was an election. And in 2006, Liberia moved on in turning a new page into our political governance system.
Right.
We saw Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf emerging as the president who took on a challenging period from 2006 to 2012.
Right.
During this period, Liberia underwent serious, rebranding and restructuring.
Right.
We saw the establishment. First thing Liberia needed to do was to face the issue of debt waiver, because Liberia were heavily indebted to foreign governments.
Right.
And the then Sirleaf administration wanted Liberia to be qualified for the heavily indebted poor country initiative called HIPIC, where Liberia will be qualified to go and access loan debt. There were vigorous processes that were benchmarks that were set up by the international partner, which included the establishment of transparency institution. First in the history of Liberia, we saw the establishment of the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission. We saw the branding of the General Auditing Commission.
Right.
We saw the Law Reform Commission.
Right.
We saw the Governance Reform Commission, Land Reform, and several integrity institutions. The Public Procurement Concession Commission was established. And between 2006 to 2012, there was a significant growth in our economy.
Right.
Till we got hit sometimes in 2014 with Ebola. Then the economy started to face a serious crisis. The Ebola scared investors. There were investors who were in the country that were investing in the private sector. People left the country. From 2014 to 2015 to 16, the economy started to face a downward trend.
Right.
Till 2018, there was an election which brought on board in 2017, the present government we have. Today I can tell you it's not a magic. The government of His Excellency, former Soga legend, George Oponguya, President in power, is faced with enormous challenges.
Okay.
As I speak to you, our economy is on a serious tension.
Let me just ask you another question quickly, as it relates to the Ellen and George Weah. If somebody was to ask you to say compare and contrast, even though George Weah been in office less time now, what would you say? Honor Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Then look at the economy there, and look at the economy right now, because
but the first thing is kind of what you'll be doing some disservice to the administration.
Right.
The government that's just 1 year old
Right.
cannot be compared to the government that lasted for 12 years.
Right.
So to draw the line of dichotomy between both governments, you'll be doing injustice to one.
Right.
One government served for 12 years,
And the other
and one
government
government served for
a year now.
yeah. You can't take a 12-year-old child and a 1-year-old child to competition and tell them to fight.
What I'm saying is, maybe I didn't put the question right. What I meant to say is, if you look at the trend that the Weah government is taking, more especially as it comes to development, from the time Ellen took place, the time that she took over in Liberia, 1 year to the time of.
All right, so if I'm getting you well,
Yeah,
you mean the first year in
the first year
administration
in the
of Ellen
administration
in her
of
first
Ellen,
term.
and the first year in Joy Weah
All right,
term.
so let me tell you.
I want you to critique.
No, give me a chance now. On Ellis's regime,
Right,
there was an economic document laws called the Poverty Reduction Strategy.
right,
And one of the poverty reduction strategy, the way I talk about it, we talk about the donors are their own. There was some arrangement between the government and international partners.
right,
Under the George Weah administration,
right,
we have the pro agenda for development and prosperity.
right.
All right. So, if I'm to critique both governments, I would say to you that it's not as easy to say. One is messing about. If you look at it from a broader perspective,
Right,
at the time Ellen took Liberia, there was already international attention to Liberia.
right,
We've just come from war.
right,
If you look at the composition of the Ellen administration, you look at how the government was established and those who were placed into strategic government position to run the government,
right,
you will see that the government was intellectually inclined,
right,
all right, to facing the challenges. You have World Bank expert Anthony Sayre at the Ministry of Finance. You have professional like Augustine at the budget, the Bureau of Budget. You have professional John who has stayed in the foreign service for more than 40 to 50 years, serving as foreign minister. If you have to look at both government, I think the problem facing this government is capacity.
okay.
Capacity is a serious challenge for this present government.
You see,
If you look at the composition of the government, you see that you cannot put both government on the same pedestal in terms of capacity. And I believe that from my own understanding of the political unfoldings in the country,
right,
Ellen, in her first year, started to deliver on most of the promises she initially announced because the government was well capacitated.
right,
If you follow George Weah in 2005, they generally asking the question, so we are, through your own confession, you said you're not a high school graduate. But if you are to win the election, you go and recruit competent people, you bring the best brain. Let me quote him verbatim.
right,
He said, we'll bring the best brain.
right,
So I think Ellis tap on Weah's outburst about bringing in the best brains. So once she won the presidency, she ran for the best brains.
right.
She brought in Dr. Crystal. There were a group of professional people in the system.
Right,
So it's not like a learning curve.
right,
As compared to the present enrichment right now, there's serious capacity gap.
right.
And I think it's due to this constraint that the government is under stress.
Right.
Even though, even though globally,
Let's look at,
globally,
let's look,
there are issues facing the world, but I think the George Weah government is capacity-wise challenge.
right. Okay, let me ask you another question concerning the same area. There was a lot of people that point finger at the Johnson Sirleaf government as it relates to corruption, and I think the BBC also. We have a clip here. We don't have the time to play the clip now. The BBC talk about a lot of money that was given during when Ellen took over. I think 16 billion or more than that was given to the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf government.
So what I
And,
think,
and that was not accounted for. Most of the money was not accounted for. I don't know. I'm not in Liberia.
Let me
We just want to clarify.
let me make the correction. It doesn't come. The question is, under Ellis' administration for the last 12 years,
Yeah,
the government was able to attract direct and indirect foreign investment
right,
in a total of over 16 billion.
right,
What I want you to understand, most of those investments did not come to the country directly as budgetary support.
right,
Some of them came in aid.
right,
Like if you look at the money that the U.S. government gave to the government of Liberia, I mean, to the Liberian government through UC.
Right.
Most of the money coming in the form of projects.
Right.
All right, so government work with UC, they identify projects. UC sponsor those projects.
Right.
It's not that it's direct budgetary support, even though it's an area. They give direct budgetary support. Look at the Obama commitment to Africa electricity.
Right.
It was true that we saw the rehabilitation of the hydro dam in Mount Coffee that was destroyed during the Civil War being reconstructed.
Right.
It was, I mean, an investment around from the U.S. government into $300 to $400 million to the government of Liberia.
Right.
But that money did not come directly to the government as budgetary support. Went to a particular project.
Yes.
So I mean, on the issue of government attracting direct foreign investment, direct and indirect, yes. I mean, they do not say that early 12 years there were billions of dollars that were given to the government. I mean, which is true. Some of the money through audit process, some are not accounted for.
Right.
For me, by then, I used to be in the area of transparency and advocacy. So we're dealing directly with the issue of corruption.
Right.
I believe that was a fundamental weakness.
Right.
On the fight against corruption. I believe that with all the progress she made, I mean, establishing a transparency institution, she did not do sufficient in the fight against corruption.
Right.
As a result of that, today, there are thousands of audit reports languishing at the National Legislature. Because under our law, when audits are conducted by the General Auditing Commission, it's forwarded to the President and the Legislature. There's an autonomous body at the Legislature called the Public Accounts Commission.
Right.
They are the ones who are to investigate the audit reports and their recommendation to the Ministry of Justice for further prosecution.
Right.
If they are administrative aptitude, the Ministry of Justice can be able to go on our jurisprudence. The government prosecutory arm is the Ministry of Justice.
Right.
So the Ministry of Justice now can look at prima facie evidence coming out from some of these audit reports, and it can be able to give further recommendation for action taken. But I mean, during the 12 years, corruption was almost like a lip service.
Right.
If you were to ask me to agree on, she feel massively.
Right. You see, what some of the questions I'm asking you here tonight, Mr. Tupa, I mean, is something that maybe people need to know about, because we don't live in Liberia. Like me, I don't live in Liberia. I've been in this country for the longest, and we want to clarify some of these things, because you have a very good insight. Even though you don't work for the government, you're a private person in the country, you're a businessman and all that, but you have a very good insight when it comes to the Liberian government as it relates to how the political lane in the landscape is structured. So that's why I'm asking you some of these questions. Now, let's look at, I will take you to the judicial system quickly before we can come back to discussing other business issues as it relates to Liberia economic-wise. When you look at, presently there is an ongoing investigation. I want you to look at the Constitution, because like you're a student of the Constitution. You know more about the Liberian Constitution than those of us here. I want you to explain to me there is an ongoing impeachment proceeding against one of the associate justices in the country right now, Kabila Janet. And we are in doubt. Our audience need to know what is going on at the Temple of Justice with the impeachment proceeding.
Well, on our law, the Constitution provides, the basis for impeachment of justices of the Supreme Court. And I have followed for some time now the impeachment proceeding of Justice Janet, which originated from the lower house.
Right.
There are a lot of legal fight in our impeachment proceedings.
Right.
If you listen to lawyers representing the government of Liberia and Councilor Janet, Justice Janet, you see that every side is putting a strong legal defense. I think it's a test for our legal system. But if you are to ask me for my individual opinion as it relates to some of the issues laid down as benchmark or reliance for, a process leading to the impeachment of Justice Janet, I would say that I don't see no real substantial count in the document. That some of the issues raised, through the impeachment, the counts against Janet, talk about property you acquired from somebody illegally, we talk about proceedings that he spearheaded, and I'm aware that lawyers representing Justice Janet also put up on it. It's a legal battle to just sit there and give an opinion that this is not right or this is right. I wouldn't want to prejudice the ongoing impeachment proceedings. But if you ask me, Kenneth, I can tell you for true, I don't believe that it counts a genuine count that one can rely on that could serve as a medium for the impeachment. Our judicial system, has been labeled. I've worked within the judicial system. I've been a victim of bad judgment, where Liberia is now gradually returning to a terrain where there's no justice for the poor. I was sued sometime during the early administration I was sued for libel 2 times. One by the Central Bank of Liberia was $700 million damage only because I opined that the construction of the new Central Bank did not go through procurement process, which of course was attested by the Public Procurement Concession Commission. The Central Bank by then argued that they were exempted from procurement, but they couldn't prove any law. They relied on the PFM law. We went to the public procurement law. They showed them where the exemption for the printing of coins, the printing of bank notes, all the procurement processes go directly through the PPCC. We went to court. I saw how lawyers representing the rich people wanted to behave. I know how justice was explained, against us because we didn't have a big pocket. But all of these challenges facing the judicial system, now to have a justice of the Supreme Court removed because I believe most of the counts are questioning of the data. I think it's a bad signal for Liberia. It's a bad signal for this new government that just come to power in a year time. They should be thinking about attracting more investors into the country because this has a proclivity to scare potential business people. Because everyone want to bring money to invest in the country. The first thing they look at is security. I believe that this impeachment proceeding, the counts are not strong enough now have the ground that can lead to an impeachment of justice.
Okay, let me come.
Well,
I got a question. I want to give you a question here from the YouTube. After when you looking at the, you talk about capacity building, right? In the we are led administration, what will you say concerning the opposition? Are there any recommendation that's being given to the present government? Are they responding to recommendation? Because if you look at the amount of officers that the president have working along with him, are they waiting to change? Do you see a room for improvement? Do you from your own assessment?
Well, let me say, under our Constitution, appointment and dismissal power in the executive form directly within the purview of the president. And when we talk about capacity, we're not talking about capacity building, we're talking about individuals who are being appointed to strategic position who are not qualified.
Okay, so you basically talking about qualification.
Yeah, we don't understand the fundamental modus operandi of some of those positions. Which I believe is like taking round peg and putting it in a square hole, you know, it wouldn't fit.
Right.
Square and round peg, they are not compatible.
Right.
So, from the opposition side, I'm getting your question correctly.
Correct, yeah.
I mean, I can say to some extent the president will listen to some of the recommendations. Only thing he needs to go further. Like when the whole news broke about the whole 16 billion, you saw the opposition being constructively engaged with the government, which led to the president asking our international partners to commission independent audit, just oppose the presidential investigative team that was set up by the president to investigate the 16 billion in some reports that came up concomitantly. And I mean, the only thing is like the president is a superior citizen of the country. I think not everything the opposition says the president will follow, but the president, I wouldn't want to, preempt whether the president will follow all of the recommendations. But I think for the betterment of the country, put aside the politics, and let's do the right thing.
Well, I mean, the government promised the Liberian people the report was going to come out, as we just alluded to, as it relates to the $16 billion. People was arrested. Where are we now concerning the $16 billion?
All right, so there was a report, an audit that was done by a group in the USA called the group. And now the presidential investigative team, both institutions, commission by the president and the international partner did a report. The president went on 5 persons were arrested from the Central Bank of Liberia in connection to the 16 billion. On our law, the act were committed second-degree felony. It's a billable crime. So, as we speak, 2 of the alleged culprits were incarcerated, filed a bond, and the judge accepted a bond, and they were released. Until the other 3 are still languishing at the central prison, trying to secure bond. Then I got news for like a week now.
Right.
That there were some individuals, that the government lawyer have challenged the bond that was filed by the 2 convicted, the 2 alleged convicted fellow. So we have to follow the legal argument into the validation of those bonds. But as we speak for now, the investigation is ongoing. All we hear right now from the opposition is the fight against corruption has been selective on the part of the president, because the audit that was conducted was into 2 fields. An alleged missing 16 billion,
right,
and a 25 million that was infused into the economy to mop up liquidity in Liberian dollars that were on the Liberian market.
Right.
Because sometime last year, in the middle of last year, there was a significant increase daily in the price of Liberian dollar against the US Bank.
Right.
Which led to the government technical economic financial team. Technical economic financial team. Are we there?
Yeah, go ahead, Alfred. Go ahead. Improve the sound a little bit. There we go.
Which led to the government technical economic financial team infusing some 25 million into the economy, which is said there was an orthodox approach.
Right.
Because normally in these kinds of intervention, it's done through the various commercial bank, but the central bank credit the counter commercial bank, and the commercial bank call in business people, take their money to the bank, they apply for proper accountability.
Right.
But in this instance, the technical economic financial management team believed that there was a need to use an unorthodox approach, thereby taking US dollars and the street, buying Liberian dollars directly from foreign exchanges. And that process blew out, which also formed part of the ongoing investigation. And in both reports, the government, the president, the team that was set up by the president, they investigate the 16 billion, and that of the 25 million, and that of the international partners own group both said that the central bank did not cooperate with the investigators in giving all of those relevant documents that were needed to go into how the mop-up exercise will carry on. And
Well,
I got a question for him.
so as a result of that, 1 minute,
Okay.
as a result of that, the opposition are now saying, look, those who manage the 25 million mop-up exercise should account. They should too be caught because the team that was set up by the president, the local team, they point out to several, financial malpractices. Like they want to know, can they talk about a particular transaction that occurred at one forest bureau called Union Forest Bureau, where the economic financial management team said they bought Liberian dollar in the 161,000, but they received the government from the investigation of $5,000. So they believe that there was some foul play, and there was a need to investigate.
Okay, I have a question on Facebook. Somebody said, Alfred. This is from William. William said, Alfred Topa, as a Liberian professional, what can you do to assist the government fill in some capacity gap? And the other person asking question, saying that, ask this guy, why is it that America has not yet recognized this present government?
No, that's not true. Who sent the investigator there? The U.S. government. The Liberian government wrote the U.S. government, and the U.S. government accepted the request, and that was how investigators were taken from an independent group to commission an audit into how the 25 million mop-up exercise and that of the 16 billion was done. More besides that, not everyone will work in the public service, and that's why some of us have decided to stay back home. I run private business. I'm a consultant to the government of Liberia in some areas, and I think we're contributing our quota. It's just that not everyone will go into mainstream government. Some professionals like us, with vast understanding of some functionaries of government,
right,
are still giving our support.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want to
Let me ask you one question before you leave. Somebody saying that they know that you're connected to the Unity Party. So you say you're not speaking on behalf of any political party. You're speaking as an patriotic Liberian. So should they agree with everything you say, or
so
that's what I'm saying?
The first thing is, I don't know where the person knows me. If the person knows me for true, I've never joined any political party in my history. I've always worked as an independent rights advocate. The records are there. Never worked with the Unity Party. Never worked joined the CDC. Even though I've voted a president, which is my constitutional franchise, and I respect that, but I'm speaking here as a patriotic Liberian and a publisher. I think if you follow my utterances, it level you to judgment. But I think we're doing it in school service.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are just listening. If you're just joining us, you are listening to the Liberian Radio and Television Network. With me tonight is Mr. Alfred G. Tupa, publisher of the People's Newspaper and board member, Civil Society Working Group in the Republic of Liberia. We'll take a little break and be back with Mr. Alfred G. Tupa. But before we leave, ladies and gentlemen, we have a phone number here that you can call in, 267-622-1936, if you want to talk to Mr. Tupa. And of course, we have the PayPal phone number, which is 215-954-13 Those of you who are listening and you want us to be on the air, you can donate anything that you have to that number. We'll be back.
D12 on the beat.
All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. They will see it. I say they will, yeah. So you forced to let me. You not let me say you forced to let me. You forced to let me. You not let me say you forced to let me. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When I can go away with you, and when I feed it with hurt. When I need it with you. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you was born to win, yeah. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. They can do what they do, and they can talk all they talk. They can do what they do. Hey, turn the fire, the person. Holy Ghost fire, the person. Turn the fire, the person. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win, yeah. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. They will see a koro with a big eyeball. They will see a koro with a small eyeball. They will see a koro with a big eyeball. They will see a koro with a small eyeball. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time.
D12.
So no one will take no government official will take you to court on the basis of utterances you made in him or while serving in government.
Right.
To this date, there hasn't been a deaf independent journalist
Right.
with sense or linkage to the government.
Right.
And journalists have been afforded the opportunity to practice.
Right.
The only most recent incident we saw was the situation between the Roots FM and the government of Liberia, which led to state security barricading the facility of Roots FM, quote unquote, from the canopy of securing a crime spot. But after a period, the situation was resolved. Roots FM is back on the radio. Let me give this president a pat on the back.
Right.
Press freedom on President George Weah has been free.
Right.
Yeah. Everyone has been given an opportunity. Even though there are some other draconian processes.
Right.
But I mean, no one will want to speak to them.
Let's look at our brother Henry Costa radio station was vandalized the last time.
Yeah, but that was I just spoke about
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah, the station is called Roots FM.
Okay, Roots FM, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. So what was the who was held responsible
well,
for?
police is still investigating.
Okay.
Up to now, they have only claims and counterclaims, but there hasn't been any substantial evidence pointing finger to any party of being involved in trying to undermine the Roots FM family.
Well, I mean, before we can go further, let me look to my man Joe Anderson and see if he has any question for you, Joe.
Okay. On there we have okay, we improved the sound. People were saying that they wasn't hearing anything. We improved that. And somebody asking about the miners. They have some miners in Nema County that was stuck in the mine or something like that. And they said that the person asking, they said the president I think declare a day of mourning or something like that. Did the government ever try to be very responsive on the miners?
The first thing is,
I don't know whether
those,
they're taking it on track.
those are illicit miners.
Okay.
The first thing is, if you look at the bailiwick of Liberia, right after the war, there are several informal sector people use as a means of acquiring survivability. Today in Liberia, they have plenty gold mine, some of them not even licensed by the government. And what happened in Lima was just one of the cases. Illegal mining.
Right.
We led to almost something like the Lima raid. Alright? If you find a Lima raid in the 80s, not a Lima raid. It's not a Lima raid. There was some mudslide somewhere in, I tell you what it is.
Yeah, it was not in Nima, it was in
Cape Mount.
It was in Cape Mount, the
Alright.
mudslide.
The mudslide, alright? Sorry, not Lima raid. If you follow, the trend of event, there was some illegal miner that was mining at a particular site in Lima County. All government knowledge. They dug deep into the earth that led to the whole, mountain, over like a mountain, breaking down all that. And in that incident, the government reported that over 40% lost their lives, which led to the president declaring a particular day as a day of mourning. And right after that, the Ministry of Justice issued a statement on the issue of illegal mining. Today, people, it's just
One of the questions. Let me just do a follow-up question on that, Mr. Tuba. You was telling me since the people did illegal mining, and the news report we got here was some of the people were still alive on the ground.
no. The government there were survivors for that man.
Right.
What's like
Okay.
those who the government had the capacity to go, they were able to rescue them.
The government. I want to know as well. The government had those equipment to actually
Well,
be able to.
I wouldn't. As far as I'm concerned,
Right.
the government did what I believe they have with capacity constraint in their purview. Those who they could rescue were rescued. Not everybody came out. And we just hope that some of our people can see this as a warning shot and try to, discard some of the process of illegal mining because it's life threatening.
Okay. Another thing, if it comes to the challenges of this present government, correct? What would be the most challenge sector that you can speak on, looking at the President George Weah administration?
The biggest problem is in the country. If you look at our country, Liberia is a country that operates a cash-based budget. Our budget is something that is made from projection. Revenue that we anticipate to collect in a budget year, that is between June to May. Because Liberian budget year in June 31st, May 31st, and in June the next budget year starts. If you look at the projection, because our budget is cash-based written, we don't have a Federal Reserve that we can rely on. As like some of the countries that big power like the US can do a projection and they can say, oh, so we'll do this, we can go to Federal Reserve when they get money to complement some of the projects because we know definitely we'll be able to get revenue from this place and that place. But Liberia is a different scenario. So our budget is really driven by projection. So when the technicians go to work, they look at all of the sectors, revenue generating sector. They do the math and say, all right, so this particular year, for all of these sectors, we'll be able to generate maybe around $6 or $5 million. The budget is just drew around the projection. In that projection, they place money for agencies and all that stuff. But the government only raise revenue when the economy is reviving. All right? When you can be able to attract businesses into the country, investments. You see, when Ellen became president in 2006, the national budget by then stand at $80 million. Now, the entire budget was projected at $80 million in 2006. Within 2006 to 2018, the budget left from $80 million to around almost $600 million. Because during the 12-year period, government was able to attract several investments in the country. We saw the oil sector booming. The folks talking about Lucan, National Oil Company of Liberia, where we had Chevron, we had ExxonMobil, we had PSP Billiton, we had all of these companies. And you look at the iron ore sector, we had China Union, we had ArcelorMittal, we had Sesagua Vendetta, and we had in the Western Cluster, we had Putu Iron Ore. Most of the areas were being attractive. You look at other areas like in the agriculture sector, you have the Malaysian group, Sami Davi, you have Golden Beryllium, you have Safeguard Group, the one that took what oil palm plantation. So all these investments, because what government do, they pay royalty to the government for whatsoever concession they involved into, through that it complements or supplements the budgetary operation. But right now, since the Ebola, some of those investors pull out. Some of the sectors globally are challenging the iron ore sector. Iron ore price dropped significantly on the world market. Some of the concessions are not operational. People only got it. They're not operational. The oil, Liberia drill, African Petroleum drill, PSP Billiton drill, Chevron drill. There were no Exxon drill, they were prosperous for oil. There was no oil discovered in commercial quantity, even though there were oil that were discovered. But the total volume of oil that was discovered was not attractive for commercial purposes. So most of them pulled back. We still got a few more prospects of oil well in our basin. So I think what the government needs to focus on is how you can be able to attract foreign and direct, investment into the country, because through that, you can be able to create jobs. All right? When BRE closed down in Buchanan, I can investigate the BRE concession. More than now, BRE have almost 1,000 some people is employed. But it also vary like maybe 1 person has a different team. So if you got 1,500 person working, you want to feed about 150,000 persons. Because through that salary, you can be able to share with other people. Right? So if the government can do the necessary, put the necessary economic framework, go back and discuss, instead of all the in-house fighting right now, trying to remove the justice for the Supreme Court. The next thing, that scares businesses. You're shutting down integrity institutions. Like the LSCC were one time complaining that they've been budgetarily supported the independent internal audit commission that was set up to audit government power standards. And also complaining.
Just to throw light on that, this person saying that getting rid of turning positions, those are things that were put in place from the.
Of course, for me, I'm one of those who believe that yes, there was need to visit some of the institutions that had tenure, but there were few that the crafter, in the mind of the crafter, they left them open so as to give the heads of this era independent decision, void of external influence. Take like the LSCC. I thought it was a bad idea to repeal the act and taking on tenure from commissioners of the LSCC, because if they're to investigate corruption, no one will be called in at night and tell you, I'm investigating the case the president has interest, because you want your job. You power into submission.
Right.
But if you have tenure that says that even though Abraham Coppock can be removed as a commissioner of the LSCC, but for a cause, that cause should be spelled out, because that alone strengthens the institution,
right,
operation, and it creates a level of independence,
right,
for commissioners of those institutions. So these are some of the things. It was good to repeal. Look at some tenure, there was some not necessary. But look at PPCC. If you follow Liberian history, procurement process was one of the biggest areas of fraud existed in Liberia. Procurement officers from various agencies of government,
right,
GSA used to buy for government. They just had government on a serious debt burden, because somebody would just go and just take government money and tailor ran away in the areas from Togo. Because you were GSA part,
right,
and Togo gave you almost $1 million to carry the car procure vehicles for GSA.
Right.
He left. Because there was no procurement process by then.
Right.
There was no independent public procurement concession commission. As compared to today, where the government decides to buy one telephone, and that telephone crosses a threshold, because there's a threshold set up for a certain amount.
Right.
When it crosses the threshold, it must go through competitive bidding. It's not only for low price, but for best value.
Right.
So that people can be able to buy, substandard material. But so I believe that taking the tenure from the PPCC was another bad idea. I believe that those are factors that leading to serious stress and pressure on the government.
There's another question here, Alfred, for you. The person asking the question: you've been in Liberia and you have a news paper that you're running. Did you listen to the President BBC speech, and did you listen to the President's speech of the nation? How will you rate the President? Do you think that the President is up to the task to run the country?
Of course. The President is up to the task. Let me say this to you. This President was very strategic during his inaugural address. He said, do not be carried by the utterances of my speeches, but judge me based upon decisions that I will make, even though some of the decisions have been challenged. But I wouldn't want to use intellectualism as a benchmark. to determine what's upward. Because if you do studies today, most of the successful people in the world, they're not university graduates. If you look at Bill Gates, you look at Mark Zuckerberg, and you read their history, I mean, even though they didn't go 100% through the world of academia. So for me to judge the president on the basis of his poor intellectual capacity, I think that we saw what the service of the president.
Let me bring your attention to something quickly, Mr. Tupa, concerning the private sector, because you mostly in the private sector. Let's look at the private sector, because the last time we heard the president say, well, there will be contract that will be given to Liberian-owned businesses before the Lebanese or any other foreign entity or foreign organization in the country. But according to news that we are receiving from Liberia, it's not what is happening now. I want you to speak to that. What is going on with the Liberian first or contract in the private sector as it relates to what the president promised to what we have now?
Yeah, I mean, that's a serious, thank you for that question. I mean, a serious concern.
Right.
The president has promised that no more in the Republic of Liberia will Liberians be spectators in our economy.
Right.
I believe that statement was an iron, because you look at major contracts in the country today, it's been awarded to foreign friends, like our construction company. If you look at most of the contracts, it's been awarded to foreign nationals. I think that was a serious contradiction on the part of the president. Liberians are not getting more. At one point in time, so the president raised a check for $3 million for the farmer, small Liberian enterprises. I'm yet to understand how many local businesses have benefited from that. When I get back, I would like the Minister of Finance to give me a comprehensive listing into how many small businesses, maybe because it was given through the LBDR or Red John Davis, President LBDR, to give me a list of Liberian-owned businesses that benefited from that small money. But I think that particular statement was a bluff.
Right. Let's go back quickly to something that I heard.
Let me ask you a question. Somebody have a question here. They asking. They said there was a pronouncement that was made by the president that all public university was going to be free. Now, for you just being in Liberia and coming from Liberia, is it effective? Everything he said, is it working? Students not paying, college students not paying school fee anymore?
Yeah, I mean, since the president made that pronouncement, there's been too many politics. I mean, those are one of my biggest disappointments about Liberia. Everything is very politicized. The president made a statement as a policy statement at the level of public universities, you're going to be tuition free. And I think that the government want to supplement the universities. To today, I'm yet to have a formal complaint besides some level of politicization of some of the policy statements. But I'm yet to see a written disposition for any student who told me that, at the university, like the president said, I'm going to be tuition free and we're paying school fee. No, I'm yet to see that. I think the government is living up to the standard when it comes to the president commitment or promise in the area of tuition free university.
Okay.
Public university.
Okay, Ebenezer William is asking, he said, Mr. Tupac, can you rate the government effort on fight against corruption?
If you ask me, the government fee 0. The president corruption is his biggest challenge. I don't know why. But this president has been very, very much dismal and unprofessional, lazy, and insincere in the fight against corruption.
And to follow up on that, Mr. Tupac, concerning corruption, since we're talking about corruption, presently we heard here, I mean, you can clarify that for us, the investigation that took place at the Central Bank of Liberia, there was a guy that was working there who mysteriously got hit by a car. There were many people who were saying that this guy was caught in the night and then he was murdered. They consider that murder. They didn't look at it as car hitting him because they said somebody called him in the night for him to go meet them, and then at the end of the day he got hit mysteriously by a car. But some of the investigation that took place according to the report, the guy was murdered. That's the story we're hearing here. I mean, if
so let me say
on that.
I think it is a tragedy that leaves room for many doubts.
Right.
Because there were two mysterious deaths. And according to reports, the first guy died in February. This guy was the driver of the Central Bank vehicle that took the Liberian out from the Freeport of Monrovia to the vault.
Right.
A few weeks I just read in the news that this guy died on your man through a motor accident. And then also another senior staff in the Central Bank who also worked in the department that was working in connection, has supervisory role in the mop-up exercise, but also found there, and that I read an official statement from the National Police investigation ongoing. So I wouldn't want to sit there and cast expression on the ongoing investigation, but I believe death is like a mystery.
Right. Mysteriously.
Yeah, it's a mystery. I wouldn't want to say it's foul play, but only the police investigation we are waiting for, and then we can conduct our own investigation, see how independent the outcome is.
Okay, on YouTube, somebody asking the question, say the president did declare his assets. You being a media hub, you have your own business. Did you follow up on that? And can you throw a light that the president did declare his asset and the wealth that he's accumulating right now? Can you tell the audience that everything he's doing right now, he's rich, he have money?
Well, I don't know what the asset of the president is, because when President Salih became president in 2006, she did declare her asset. One of the constitutional
This person is asking, you say you don't know what the asset is, but the president declares asset.
That's why
you can go to. You can go
Yeah,
somewhere.
we wrote.
Okay.
The first thing is all of the asset declaration are followed in Liberia. Has been done through the LSCC. All right. Government officials always declare their assets at the LSCC. In the Eastern Cape, the president declares assets at the General Auditing Commission. And there was some acrimonious wrangling between the GAC and the LSCC. Someone was trying to say usurpation of function. However, the other side provided an argument too that needed only the Ministry of Justice will interpret as to whether it was their proposed area for the president to declare his asset. But up to now, I'm yet to see that in 2006. Any declare assets, you publish it.
Can you hold your thought? Let's go take a break and we'll be right back because we got a lot of questions coming up for you. All right? So let
take a break and be back.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
baby, yeah. Look at my baby, yeah.
Yeah, it's why I love my baby girl, because she hold me down for real. Scoop me up in that black Nissan when I didn't have them wheels. So now I got my baby riding with me. Plus she be looking extra pretty. Put 100 carats on and gave her chills. For real. I'm like, ooh, yeah. Look at my juice.
Pretty little mama, what you saying? I don't wanna go another day, yeah. If I don't get to see your pretty face, yeah. Oh no, yeah. 'Cause you know I like it when you say that. You know I like it when you play that. Ain't no competition when you come around. Oh no, yeah. 'Cause you got a vibe, you already know. Shawty fine from my head to toe. It's been a while since I had you close. So tell me why would I let you go? There ain't a thing that I wanna need, just your love and company. Baby, I'll do anything you please, just as long as you stay with me. So baby, won't you stay tonight? And we can do the things you like. Won't you stay tonight? And I'ma make you feel right. Oh baby, won't you stay tonight? You say that, yeah. Oh no, yeah. Shawty, you on my shop, the place when you turn up the bass, when they make me feel good and it begin never stress. But light up that thing, make a bad man relax. That's the reason why we love you long time, baby girl. Baby girl, I like the way you break that, and you know I like the way you shake that. Ain't no competition when you come around. Oh no, yeah. You got a vibe, you already know. Don't be shy, baby, let it show. And that's the reason why I need you with me. So baby, tell me that you ain't gon' leave. So baby, won't you stay tonight? And we can do the things you like. Won't you stay tonight? And I'ma make you feel right. Oh baby, won't you stay tonight? You say that, oh no, yeah. I like the way you say that, oh no,
yeah. Shawty the realest one, already told her that. So if you give me your time, you know I cherish that. We got this kind of bond, ain't talking kind of fit. That made in China shit, I'm talking about designer fit. Girl, you know I like the way you break that. Make me ask your mama how you get that. Say she coming over, that's a touchdown. Cause when she touched down, yeah, it's a bruck down, yeah.
So baby, won't you stay tonight? And we can do the things you like. Won't you stay tonight? And I'ma make you feel right. Oh baby, won't you stay tonight? You say that, oh no, yeah. I like the way you say that, oh no, yeah.
If you're just joining us tonight, You're listening to the Lrtn, the Liberian Radio and Television Network here in Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection. And of course, as I told you, we have with us the publisher.
No.
We have with us Alfred G. Tupa, publisher of the People's Newspaper and also board chairman of Civil Society Working Group in the Republic of Liberia. Mr. Tupa, we want to welcome you again to the show. And we were just talking about the corruption in the country as it relates to the present government, because the government, the president told us when he came to power, he said he was going to fight corruption with everything in his vein. But up to now, we have been hearing a lot of corrupt practices have been taking place in the country, more especially if you look at the as it relates to money being missing. Not only that, the $16 billion, I mean, there have been a lot of corruption taking place in the country according to report, but there have been no investigation into those corrupt practices. So I want you to expand on it, because we started talking about it before we went to break.
Well, like I said, I think the fight against corruption is like lip service on the because I've always believed that corruption has been one of the fundamental pillars that led to the civil unrest in Liberia.
Right.
If you look at our country history, we didn't go to war in the 80s and the 90s because infrastructure deficit.
Right.
We went to war because of corruption to execute a tight thing from a cabinet minister of the Tower administration.
Right.
And during the execution, you are now that it was due to rampant corruption.
Yes.
That led to those tight, peaceful soul departing the edifice of this earth. And then in the 80s, the former president Salih was acting into advocacy, outlining the counts that she felt that led to some financial impropriety on the dual administration. I also saw Tina coming on board with the Civil War. So the issue of corruption has been a serious challenge for governments in Liberia. President Salih is one of those presidents that I will respect for where she took our country from. I mean, she would have done even more. But on the fight against corruption, she failed, even though she set up a necessary framework to deal with corruption, corrupt cases. But she didn't do enough in the fight against corruption. And then we saw George Weah taking on the other authority with little or no effort in the fight against corruption.
But one of the things I wanted to ask you before we go to Prince, where he will give us people who are watching question from them, is the fact that does the president have a task force? You know, like sometimes some government have they oversee. They got a task force that oversees.
No, that's why we got the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commission.
Okay.
They are clogged with the statutory responsibility to investigate corruption.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's what this person is asking the question. The Anti-Corruption Commission, are you saying they are weak? Are they not working under this president?
Well, let me say, if the LCC the head of the LSC was just dismissed.
Yeah.
Because he's standing and then
Yeah.
holding on illegally.
That's what he's saying.
And then he was asked to step aside. But in the last days, he said that the government was undermining the fight against corruption because there was no support to the LSCC.
But let me
So 1 minute, you ask a question, let me deal with it. So, if you don't give the investigators the support, then you're not going to fight corruption. We didn't fight corruption with our bare hands. I was being told by Councillor Vadia that there were no administrative operational costs for the LSCC. All the LSCC received on the SPR government was just salary. So, absolutely, there was nothing, even though under the LSCC administration, Vadia, remember, as one of the most dismally performed chairman of the LSCC because he didn't do much. There are several corruption cases, and even at some point, even Vadia himself was accused of corruption.
Yeah, but let me
come back. Let me come back to this.
One second. One of the things I wanted to know is how long does the chairman of the, or how long those people who
As tenure of 6 years.
Okay, the tenure
But
of
no
6 years.
tenure now. The LSC is one of those institutions that were affected by the no tenure syndrome.
Okay, so if you're saying, the person asking on YouTube, if you're saying that, or there was no support that was given to them, and the report that was just made from the $16 billion saga, according to one of the investigators, I think the chief, the guy who was hearing it, said they turned everything over to the government. So if they turn it over to the government and they're not getting the necessary support, do you think the report that they got and was turned over to the government, because LSCC is part of the government and the Ministry of Justice, they handed the report over to them. Do you think that this report, the investigation that they're talking about, do you think is going to happen?
But the first thing is,
That's what they're asking.
Let me give you some information. The investigation was done by the Presidential Independent Team that was set up by the President, inclusive of the LSCC, the Ministry of Justice, the FIU, Financial Implementation Unit. All right? So it was a conglomeration of government institutions that did this report. Where they found it in now, it's the Ministry of Justice. So at this point, it is the Ministry of Justice that should be prosecuting those people.
Yeah, but
because the LSC does not have the prosecutorial authority. All they have is to investigate corruption.
And send their money.
Yeah, and that was one of the things we've been fighting for. Because when I was in transparency advocacy, I believe that the LSC should have some quasi prosecutorial power, so that when they catch someone into corruption, because in most cases when they get a case of the Ministry of Justice, the justice don't want to move on the investigation into cases investigated by the LSC. It's language on the LSC for a year, and under the LSC they do have the power to go to court, but you have to be in acquiescence with the Ministry of Justice.
So, like, will you go back to your statement that you said concerning Vadia, that he didn't do good, he didn't do good work?
No, Vadia didn't perform at the LSC.
Yeah, because if you don't have the prosecuting...
No. Joe, we are just president for 1 year.
Yeah.
We are
I'm talking about from the Madam Sally.
Vadia was at LSC for a little over 6 years. You were holding on and then got appointed. Now, for the time that Vadia served as chairman of LSCC, if you ask for my opinion, he did not perform as compared to President Johnson Moran. But then, our transparency advocacy, I reported the report there from the United Nations, UNDP. I reported one of the higher number of corruption cases in the from the theater LSCC was funded. All right, and President Johnson Moran was looking into the cases. Like what I told you about the central bank.
Right.
All right? But on Vadia did not do too much. Only in the dying time of his tenure, we heard him talking, and which of course, what he said was true. The first 1 year under President Weah, the LSCC complained there was no electricity, there was no stationery, there was nothing, no vehicle for absolutely nothing. All they said there was for salary.
So can you take into consideration that the president inherit a very bold government? So can you say that coming in, the president coming in, there was, like you said, there are a lot of challenges. So will you go back and say, the president himself had a lot of challenges. That's why he was not effective.
Let me say this to you, sir. No one knows your problem more than yourself. I would have thought when President Weah took office in 2018, the first thing to do was to commission an audit of past administration to know where government was.
Right.
What the status of the government for taking over. Because it came a time there was argument between the former president and the president. In that Weah said he inherited a country that the Federal Reserve, there was no money. And President said no. There was money. And then we were also asked to grade the early administration, and he did grade early 80%. So how do you now come back and say after grading somebody 80% and say the person scored zero?
Because
that is inherent contradiction.
Right.
So no one will understand the crowd. We have decided Weah himself. All right? Because what Mr. Weah should have done was to commission an audit of the past administration into every key sector, especially areas that deal with financial autonomy,
right,
to understand the standing, the Federal Reserve, don't know how much government has in its cover. And then by now, it will be easier to know what the government, what we are inherited. I mean, we understand, yes, that the economy was under stress, but whether the government was broke, no. I'm not a teacher to determine that. Only we could say it, and he didn't say it.
Yeah, but let's expand on that audit, because a lot of people been asking questions concerning when we are took over, because on Brooklyn's show or Lauren Brooklyn, Ellen was on Lauren Brooklyn's show when she left office after the inauguration of Joe Weah, and I listened to that very carefully. She said she left money there. She left money in the cover when she left. Nobody should say that she didn't leave anything in the cover. I want you to speak to that, because a lot of people have been asking, a lot of people have been saying, well, Ellen didn't leave anything, even though I'm not an Ellen fan. But the thing is, the president did not do no audit, nothing. The government of Weah did not institute any audit. Is that a standard practice of a government that take over from another person?
Well, every government has its policy.
Right.
But for me, if I was president, if it's like I'm asked to run the Lrtn, the first thing I would do, both financial and fiscal audit, to know what you guys are giving me, where we are.
Right.
Because in future, it's easy to reference and say, hey, I took over the institution on the 1st of May,
right,
2018. When you guys left in the call of $20 or was $7,000, with that you be able to easily prove your critics or your opponent wrong in the position.
Right.
But in this instant case, I don't know for what reason President Sirleaf was left free. I mean, she was left free at the will of the president.
Right.
So against that, I mean, any decision or utterances that come up from the president right now as to the state of the economy, he'll be like crying wanting to be read.
Right.
Because he had the opportunity at the time to make those statements, all right, that would vindicate his government by this time. But one, you created President 18. Two, the claim the counterclaim. One, no money. Ellie says he left money. He didn't come to rebuke whatsoever statement that she made about the state of the economy. And now, I mean, I don't know what marriage of the former president and the president into. So I wouldn't want to stay further than that. I mean, there was no money, there was money.
Let me ask you another question concerning that. Now that the government, because many people still want to know some of these things. Now that the present government has lasted for a year, can they still conduct an audit?
Well, of course. But to do audit, you're talking about millions of dollars.
I understand that.
The first thing, all the auditors of the General Audit Commission, they had the commissioners that are tenure expire.
Right.
You need to immediately remove them.
Right.
Or if you want reappoint them.
Right.
All right? When you do that, you need to farm millions of dollars. You're not talking about 10, 15. You want only the past administration, you need to $100 some $1 million.
Right.
What will you get at? When you get challenges in all sectors.
Right.
The government is faced in every sector, from infrastructure to rule of law to national security. Look, before I left Liberia a few days ago, I listened to police officers that were complaining. that in the budget of the Liberian National Police, money that were there for few or some 40 some thousand, in the whole budget period, they only received only, I think, 4,000. So every sector challenge security, the infrastructure, rule of law, it's like all competing priorities. No way for you to say, all right, so that deal they want important and leave them on. They all competing priorities. So I think, but for me, if you ask me, I think the president needs to now do the right thing. Put on the jacket of, look, he's already doing it, all right? Found that the government is out there making some further approach as to how they can be able to attract foreign and direct investment. But the government still needs to do more. Bring in the requisite qualified people who understand the modus operandi of government so that you can fix this thing.
Are they willing to do that?
Of course, I'm sure. You can say I'm more professional language. You're talking about sedition, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying go into opposition. If you ask me about the president, I got 10 names of individuals who are independent, some who have a political party, and some who have even a CDC, who I believe have capacity. But under the Constitution, appointed dismissal power allows
let me ask you one of the questions that I want to ask you here is this, Alfred, because the first thing, the election is over. And after an election, you would think that the president will bring the country together, whether you're opposition or not, because we're all Liberian, and you will bring some people who didn't vote for you, you'll bring them into the government to work for the government, for the betterment of the country.
Yeah, but the president has done it.
Okay.
The vice president of the Unity Party, right, no question government.
Okay.
He's the head of the Civil Aviation Authority.
Right.
The party chairman of Lino.
Right.
My friend Nathaniel Blama.
Right.
He's the head of the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA. Okay. And the list go on. There are other people from
different political parties.
Of course,
which is good.
One line that I don't want to say that the president is not nationalistic in the formation of the government. But I think there are some other positions now that you need to bring in. Like, I think for Chancellor said, government of the president national team. But Ronaldo is not performing. You got another European Ronaldinho who played number 9, replace Ronaldo. So, you still got more competent people out there. Bring them to the state. Right. Because your government is under serious capacity stress. Right. I believe that some of the cadres who are in key positions lack the intellectual understanding, all right, to run those sectors. And the whole thing is a boy play. I know it's all about political accommodation. You want to accommodate those who started the struggle with you. Right. Like Ellen did in 2006. She said most of them are picking them to school. Right. Send them to school and they get capacity. When they come back, you can be able to usurp them to come back there or give them under lower position, let them go through training, understand what some of the agencies, their operations are, and then you pick up from there.
This person asking the question that on the BBC interview, the BBC interview with the president said he created 7,000 jobs.
That's a myth.
And look, you've been in the country,
that's a myth.
So looking at that,
I just said that's a myth.
Okay.
All the jail, that's one of the biggest problems facing the government today. Is the bloating of government people. Okay. When the president took, I don't know how he was advised, but there were too many people. When Ellen became president in 2016, 2006, she said small government efficiency. That was how they decided to downsize and right size. They downsized. A lot of people, they were packaged, they gave to people. You kind of needed small government, effective government, and that was how the minimum wage of civil servants increased. Civil servants before Ellen in 2006, the lowest civil servant making was $15. Some are not taking pay after 9 months, 10 months. But from 2006 to 2018, the lowest civil servant making was $150 plus Liberian salary. Okay. All right, so your Liberian dollar is your salary, the US dollar is your per diem. So you got Liberian salary for your salary, the US dollar is your per diem. So besides the $150 I tell you, I think some people making 20 some in different categories. And there was not a single month that civil servant take pay. Civil servant will pay everyone because what? She brought a small size government, all right, right size and downside, and then but then the private sector was picking up because if government encouraging more investors to come to the country, all right, and start to speed out the private sector, that alone can supplement the issue of unemployment area. All right?
Right.
You'll be able to get more people who will work in that sector. Now, what the president did, they just brought a lot of people in the government get a position. Today, you go in government ministry agencies in Liberia, you find one of it almost 7 positions with one computer.
Right.
Everybody's saying that. So you block the payroll. So government wage bill now has increased from 20-some million to almost 30-some million every month.
Right.
Yeah. So president, that's 7,000 jobs.
Let me ask you this question.
Many people criticize Ellen Johnson Sirleaf also that she downsized the government on the back of the poor people.
Oh, man, come on. That was a sound economic decision.
Right.
That's why he needed to what we got today.
Okay.
People are making 15. Nigeria got a lot of people on payroll. First in the code needs alone on the payroll. But one of the serious problems, I get money like we should see people one man get almost 30, 40 checks. Goes with gold needs. People that don't even work, but they're on government payroll. So all through the year, through donor partners decided to give money to support the audit of government payroll, and that's how they started cutting down cost need for payroll. So the government became a little bit sizable. So there was a need now to increase minimum wage. All right?
Joe?
Yeah. Another thing, this person asking, you been in Liberia and you heard the president talking about roads. How will you rate the president road construction in
The president
Liberia?
has started out a good footing. I wouldn't want to read it because I'm yet to see a significant amount of road being done. All I'm seeing is an extension of feeder roads.
In and outside of
coming extension of feeder roads in Monrovia, basically around the president's house. And there also prospects for road in the rural area, the southeastern belt. Even though some of the roads, the agreement already concealed under President Sirleaf tenure, but it's very operational under this administration.
Right.
But this president, I believe, has a vision for the road. He always said roll. I'm seeing him following that trajectory. But to say that he has done no.
What I didn't bring your attention quickly to the press issue. Let's go back quickly to the press issue. There were people like Jonathan Pelele. Let's look at Jonathan Pelele for example. Not only he alone, but there were real press men in the country. Even though you talk about the president bringing about press freedom and on a new law, just signed a new law that press freedom will be one of those
Decriminalizing
free speech and all that. Let's look at the fact that General Pelele ran out of the country, and also there are some other guys that ran out of the country from the newspaper that were
the hot pepper newspaper. The hot pepper newspaper.
The hot pepper newspaper.
Yeah, all right. So let me tell you, I spoke to Philip Brian in the US. Philip is here. Philip told me on the telephone that the level of threatening, I don't know to what extent. I mean, he hasn't shown me any paper falsity evidence. So I wouldn't want to say he's lying or saying the truth at the same time. I wouldn't want to say the government is witch hunting. We just hope that, my brother returned to the party. I haven't seen any sign of anybody.
Okay, but if security, let's look at security for example. I know you talk about security, but I spoke to the last time the vice president, press secretary of Richmond Nubia was on the show, and I spoke to Nubia directly concerning the security situation in the country. The border is very poor as it relates to security from the Guinea side, Ivory Coast, and anybody can just walk across those places, Guinea and Ivory Coast. So I want you to see the security system. How is the security system in its totality?
Let me just say this. It's an old age problem. Liberia has always had this porous border system.
Right.
If you look at Liberia, most of the country that Liberia is bounded by, to Guinea, to Ivory Coast, to Sierra Leone, they got several areas people get across. Enter into both countries. Right. I think that has been a serious concern, and I've seen the immigration making some frantic effort in trying to deal with patrols, border patrols, and other stuff. But on the general perspective, I can say the police under the able leadership of Patrick Sulu is doing seriously well. Right. The police, there's some high level transformation. From the side of the police, and I hope that once there can be material and financial support, they can still be better. But on the line of the border security, Liberia has always been challenged with that kind of situation.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, let me come to this. Is coming from our VK social media. They're asking you, what is the relationship between the president and the vice president? Do you see a cordial relationship? Because people have been observing that they don't see anything. It's only with like Samuel Twe, Nathaniel McGay, and Jefferson Koji. So what can you say looking at?
I mean, I'm not going to base my search on this upon and gossip. I'm yet to get a formal complaint from the vice president office of the president about the Naya relationship, even though Liberia is a country of rumor and gossip. In Liberia, most of the time, about a 20, 30 rumor that will be true in some. And to just sit there and say that Bob not the president of the vice, but I want to say that because both persons have been working and seriously in seeing how they can foster the agenda of their government. If they want the CDC to succeed, I don't think it's a time for too early fight. And I haven't seen anything of such. Even though everybody make it clear, that Samuel Twe is the de facto prime minister, Nathaniel McGay, my own little brother, Jefferson Koji. I mean, every government, every president has his kitchen cabinet. Ellen has similar, Joe has similar, Taylor has similar. If you ask me, I can name who were kitchen cabinets in the past government. So every president, even myself here, if I'm president like we are today, there are people I will be close to.
Right.
Because those are people, those are personal confidant. But I will not put the general interest of the country below the interest of those individuals.
Right.
The country interest will always serve as a bigger picture.
Okay, now when you come to the report, the crew report, and the report that the president, the team that the president put together, from your perspective, do you think Samuel Twe being the head of on the team on the map up exercise that was done, do you think Samuel Twe should be arrested and charged, or?
I believe, if you ask me my independent opinion, there is something called superior respondent. As a head, both Twe and Nathaniel Petrie, who are the head of the technical, economic, financial management team, should take the responsibility if there were excesses.
Right.
In the 25 million map-up exercise. Those individuals should be held accountable because it is on their stewardship that the funds were dispensed. And if there were any foul or any semblance of corruption, they should take responsibility.
So do you think it's advisable that the president have then suspended from the position for now until after everything?
You know, that's my biggest disappointment. Like in any country, like the bigger democracy that we try to copy from, officials in such capacity by now will step aside, surrender to investigation. After investigation, either declare or they held culpable.
Right.
But I think to not be selective in the fight against corruption, the individuals should take responsibility.
So are you saying the president is being selective?
It looks selective.
Okay.
Either suspend them, pending the outcome of investigation, or dismiss them.
Okay, that comes down to gender. Somebody's asking, people concerned about gender. When you look at the rape cases in Liberia, and somebody's asking here, or Williams is asking, Mr. Tokpa, honor age case are seen selling in the street of Monrovia. Do you consider this a failure of the government to protect case?
Of course. I mean, the Ministry of Gender, Honor, Piso Time, they're performing very dismal.
Yeah, but I would explain.
I'm coming up.
Yeah.
Wilhelmina Pisota is one of the most messed up government officials I've ever seen. As compared to Baba Giflo and others who headed the Ministry of Gender, we saw how proactive they were.
Yeah.
When it comes to the issue of rape, all right? When it comes to the issue of child abuse, child labor, sexual exploitation, till today, I'm yet to see a single leaflet, all right, into educating or informing parents on potential risks about keeping kids in the street who are underage, selling to feed family. I'm yet to see, because the gender ministry does not only cover women, they also cover both male and female. I'm yet to see a proactive regime on the Women Peaceful Time. All I see is a sleeping giant gender ministry. I haven't had any effective, function. I think if I ask to create peace, I think we have to get rid of her. To bring a more effective
What do you think
gender minister who understands
what do you think
the modus operandi of the Ministry of Gender.
Let's expand on that a little bit. There was a report, a confirmed report that we got from Liberia that 11 years old little girls are getting pregnant by people who
Confirmed, you say confirmed?
yes, confirmed.
So study of souls when you say confirmed. On which instance?
What happened? We had a guy that came from Liberia who was in Liberia quite recently. Ben just came back from Liberia. I'll call his first name. I won't call his last name for security reasons. He just came back and brought pictures and things. He was at JFK. He visited JFK. Visited some of those hospitals and things, and saw 11 years old little children, women, girl children getting pregnant. What is the government doing to actually investigate those kind of claims?
That's why I say the effectiveness of the Ministry of Gender.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the reason why, the proactiveness in some of the cases have not been taken serious. Because under our law, when you have sex with a minor under the age of 0 to 17, whether consent or consent is considered a rape.
Right.
It's considered to a rape because it's by law.
Right.
So for cases of sex, I think that's why I talk about sensitization and education.
Right.
The Ministry of Gender should be able to introduce programs.
Right.
Like take for example, to those hospitals and things where they can give information to medical practitioners. That look, we'll give you an emergency number, and when you have such cases, then you can quickly report to us. Because a child who went to the hospital 11 years old and pregnant, for your doctor will do counsel you, say you down, ask you who pregnant you and see how they can be able to get the person.
Right.
Because to do that, you will also be helping to fight the issue of statutory rape.
Right.
Because one of the contributing factors to some of those things, some of those things are even influenced by parents.
Right.
Tradition.
Right.
2, some people in our country or tradition, some parents marry their kids at a very young age.
Right.
In some instances, poverty.
Right.
Some kids who parents can't afford, maybe one boy or a male who live in the community can afford. Sometimes to family member, the husband, the niece, but the family is there. So for you to have a proactive gender ministry, like what we saw on the past regime with Baba Gifler, who started the whole gender ministry team, there was always regular radio promos and show with emergency number that people get contact in case of cases of sex.
Okay, so can you be fair to this government to say that the past government had the support from the international community? And looking at this present government, will you be fair enough to say that our PISO is acting, but she might not have the resources to be effective?
No,
because you just stated that the government's challenge.
No, go
all right?
Let me tell you. If you keep to compete for a job that you contested for, you already know what the challenges are. You must bear in mind that you have the capacity to be able to remedy the situation. So, past government, they attract support by margin. They attracted support by technical know-how. So the donors sitting there will not bring the money to you. If you want the money, Like you met a guy who sitting on the side was hungry. He can tell you hungry. How will you know you're hungry? So if you have a sign minister or gender who understand what the gender minister is supposed to do, keep writing proposal, keep engaging partners. They say, look, these are kids of concern. You say that you got several international group, bilateral, multilateral institutions that give you money.
Right.
See how you can, through the government, see how you can make kids for go to women, just celebrate International Women's Day. See how you can bring in, and the first time they ever celebrate International Women's Day with no foreign guests in the country. We talk about capacity, those are some of the issues. Right. People should be one of the persons that should be effective because she work with Lema Bowie. You know, Women Foundation, she understands why it is. But I mean, being office assistant, being a minister, two different portfolios.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, this is the Liberian Radio and Television Network here in the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection, the Philadelphia. And you are listening to Lrtn. And of course, we have Alfred G. Topa here, the publisher of the People's Newspaper. And of course, my man Joe Anderson is on the wheels of steel. And my name is G. Mother Cannibal. You're listening to the LRT, and we'll be back. We'll take a little break and be back with the last segment of this show with Mr. Alfred G. Topa.
D12 on the beat.
All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. They will see it. I said they will, yeah. So you forced to let me. You not let me say you forced to let me. You forced to let me. You not let me say you forced to let me. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. When I can go here with eat you. And when I feed it, it will hurt. Oh, yeah. When I need it, it will ju. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you was born to win, yeah. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. I say I jump over it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. They can do all they do, and they can talk all they talk. They can do what they do. Hey, turn the fire, the person. Holy Ghost fire, the person. Turn the fire, the person. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win, yeah. All I do was win, 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 win. All I do was win, 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 win. They will see a koro with a big apple. They will see a koro with a small apple. They will see a koro with a big apple. They will see a koro with a small apple. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. Jehovah bless you, no man can curse you. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say your time, now your time, nobody can stop it. I say I jump over it. The whole you did by me, I jump over it. All I did was win, 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 win. All I did was win, 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 win. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win, yeah. Born to win. I say I was born to win. Born to win. I say you were born to win, yeah.
D12 on the beat.
All I did was win, 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 win.
If you're just joining us, you're listening to the Lrtn, and in the hot seat tonight is Alfred Tupa from the Republic of Liberia, the publisher of the People's Newspaper, board chairman, civil society working group in the Republic of Liberia. We are back, and we'll go to Joe Anderson for a question from the Lrtn to Alfred Tupa.
Okay, from Twitter feed, somebody's asking you, can you say anything that is good, that the president is actually doing good, that you like, that you see that is being done in Liberia that was never done before?
I don't know what you said, never. I mean, there are a lot of good things that the president is doing, that the issue of rural connectivity. The president is doing good. Look at the issue of free speech. If you read the Poor Agenda for Development and Prosperity, the economic policy paper that the government has laid its pillow on, there are a lot of good items into them. I think it's just 1 year. We hope we can give a broader perspective in the first 3 years of the presidency. But, I mean, this president looking at what you write on paper and actualizing it are two different issues. But if you ask me, I admire the president, one, for free speech. Two, the basic connectivity of rural. You look at the issue of rural law and security. The president is making significant efforts. I think those are areas I admire the president for. I wouldn't want to see the other president having done it. Yeah, I've seen more than 3 presidents.
Okay, let's talk about youth empowerment. How you rate the youth empowerment under this president?
It's poor. Youth empowerment is very poor.
Why you say that?
The Ministry of Youth and Sports.
You know, you got Zoka Wiz in there.
Yeah,
okay.
Zoka Wiz in there.
Looking at, okay.
I haven't seen a proactive approach from Zoka that will compel me to believe that, I mean, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, under the stewardship of Zoga Wiz, is doing a new thing under a new administration. Under President Salim, there were too many promises that were made to youth empowerment. All we just see is a repeater of the whole system.
So that means
there hasn't been any new approach to how to deal with the issue of youth empowerment. I haven't seen a sign in youth policy paper that one can interpret and believe that it's prosper for young people. It's just like the old order. So if you ask for my own assessment on the law of youth empowerment, the government is a little bit wavering. They haven't come out to put that prospect that we can look at and say, all right, so in the old, the past administration did it in the area of capacity building for you through TVET. But there's the same old recycling of policy paper. I don't know how Zoka Wiz stay on the country for a long period of time in pursuit of greener pasture. They have been one of the fundamental nuances that I believe is serving as model for him understand. But I hope, it's just 1 year. I think if you look at him, he got that physique of somebody who have believability, he have a passion for what you do, but knowing it, he still need more technicians to work with. And then everyone will come back here after a few months. Maybe I'll give a broader independent perspective, but for now, when I youth empowerment, if you ask me, it's 50.
Okay, let's go back to the health sector, because there are a lot of complaints that people saying that most of the hospitals are closing. They're going to probably close down because of lack of material, things that they need for the health sector. And we have a team on this platform that usually come up and talk about health and things in Liberia. How will you rate the health sector?
Well,
I know you are not a doctor or something,
yeah,
but you've been reporting a little bit.
Yeah, from the
What do you think?
from
Do
the
you see
from
improvement?
the reports we've been getting in the field, we all got journalists in the field that cover the health sector. The reports are not friendly. The first thing when President Weah took over, the present Minister of Health informed the country that most of the donors were pulling out because of donor fatigue, and that there were several programs that donors were running, and the government now needed to supplement through the budget. Up to today, we got a report from Banga, Pong County, Phoebe Hospital, one of the biggest referral hospitals in central Liberia that cater to emergency medical situation in Lima, in Lofa, in Bon, in Maigibi. At certain point, the hospital was barely at closure level. The other health facilities in the country, especially in the rural area, some of them are all medicine, no electricity. I believe that it's all due to this under budgetary support, and I wouldn't want to use that as a medium to greet the government because of that. Of a particular sector not be financially supported to that extent as failure. I think the president needs to move out and see how he can put more donor partner in the health sector. The president has a passion for improving the health sector. I saw that with GFK. The rebranding of GFK. Yeah, GFK has been rebranded under this administration.
Oh, wow.
Let me give a pat on the back to the president for that. Infrastructure-wise, GFK started being fixed on the early Salif administration, but there been more attention. I've been seeing more medical supplies to GFK. I've seen a competent and well-qualified team running the GFK. I've seen, patients going there bringing good news with that. Some health equipment that we never had GFK that are operational right now. At one point in time, I saw we're talking about doing DNA tests in Liberia at GFK. You want to know
so
X-ray machines, the oxygen, the thing.
Yeah,
How much things are poured from? Let's see.
But they need to do more.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's come back to the another question that everybody is concerned about around outside in and outside Liberia. How is the public taking the war crime code, war and economic crime code? You hear people crying all day that they want it. Is the president responding to that? Do you see a possibility of establishment of a war crime code in Liberia? War and economic crime code?
I believe that the issue of war and economic crime code is reality. There's surely going to be establishment. What about President Weah? Maybe most presidents are in their second term if they're given the opportunity to go. I believe that the president always said there are important priorities that should be given attention to. Right now, we're talking about reuniting our people. We should be thinking about how we can reconsolidate relationship that between counties and counties. Let's see how we can do peace and reconciliation as a fundamental pillar, even though I haven't seen that approach on the part of the government. But in the wisdom of the president, there are more pressing issues that are more important than the establishment of war and economic crimes code. And for me, I'm one of those persons who don't believe in the doctrine of impunity, where people come and do and just walk freely. I believe that all of those who committed atrocities and mayhem against our people should account for their actions.
Right.
So if you ask me for my independent opinion, I want the establishment of a war crimes code and economic crimes code for Liberia, and I want it now. But to do that, it is only the government that will ask donor partners. I mean, because they say, look, you need to help us. I understand that in the USA, they have some huge amount of support for the establishment of war crimes code in Liberia. But I mean, as I said, the president said there are more pressing priorities issues. And I wouldn't want to judge his opinion because everyone has their own reason. But if you ask me, I think it is the best time now so that we can get rid of the doctrine of impunity.
There was a question Luzu Smith asked. She said, which international organization the hot pepper Mr. Faber Brown information concerning the 25 million United States dollars and the 16 billion Liberian dollars?
I don't know what the person is trying to answer for, but Faber Brown is a reputable and responsible, renowned journalist in the country.
Right.
And he broke the news.
Right.
About an alleged $16 billion basis.
Right.
And he said his sources of information are reliable, I think, which led to this big investigation. Secondly, from East Africa took a while. And it was proven that, yes, there was some money unaccountable. There was not a particular international institution that gave the information of Philip Brown. On the 25 billion, Philip Brown did not report on it. The government itself announced, even though, I mean, we yet to understand the full or see the full report as to how the $25 billion monthly exercise was done. But Philip Brown only reported in 16 billion.
Let me ask you a question. Many people have a problem with the fact that people know that we are an international soccer player. He played, people say he got $82 million in the bank before he assumed the presidency. But why he waited until he took the presidency when he was senator, why he didn't break down the house to rebuild the house? I mean, there are many people that are asking questions.
So I listened to the president one time. I mean, sometime last year we met the president twice. And in the second meeting, the president said to us, a group of journalists in the country who attended our meeting, that some of the property we see today that are being reconstructed, the construction when I started far long time before he became president. He said, I'm here to independently investigate that. But if the presidents are watching, man, I don't know. I mean, the only thing that will lead this whole claim to rest if the president declared access to the public. But I believe that the timing of unveiling most of his property was not just the right time.
Right.
1 year into the presidency, we start to unveil some of these conspicuous mansions will leave more doubt in the minds of people. Believing the money came clean.
Right.
So, I just believe the timing for releasing or unleashing some of these property raised more concern.
Yeah.
Because you didn't do that till you became president.
Okay, concerning the, there was a tip that was released from the superintendent that got suspended in Bonk, I think she's from Bonk County.
Yeah.
Bonk County. How did the public?
The first thing, it was illegal to have recorded the superintendent. Oh no, it's illegal to record somebody without their consent. If I want to record you, you must be well informed that I'm recording you with your consent before I do that. It's illegal. 1, 2. But for political reasons, people do that.
Right.
People do that to political school. I don't know for what reason. Was the superintendent recorded? But if you ask me for my opinion, I think the whole scenario, I mean, I don't see any substance in it. Because the similar thing happened during the Ellen Cookrum situation, where Brownie Samuka, Chris Massacre, and others were heard on a tape recorder with Eddie Cookrum discussing a president, former president. And I think that particular situation led to Ellen Cookrum escaping from Liberia surreptitiously. Ellen didn't take any action against any official. I mean, I know personally it will frustrate you to understand that you were gossip. I don't see what significant reason was the president, that led to action on the superintendent being suspended. If I were president, but it's not one independent decision. Because the superintendent explained a lot. Who knows whether she was lying? And the funny thing about the whole recording, you can tell that the entire team was knocked off because when the superintendent talking, when she was speaking to somebody, the person didn't say anything. How can one person keep talking about more than 10 minutes and calling somebody, the person ain't responding? That conversation had two sides.
Right.
But because of the sinister intent of those who recorded the superintendent, when they kept the superintendent version of the recording,
right,
and erased the other version, who knows whether the other persons who were talking to said it worse.
Right. So
for me, as a mature person, I just felt that decision was lazy. But I mean, it's the president.
Quite recently, there was some dismissal, I believe, from the NSA. Lambo Jones, I think he was suspended for time indefinitely or something like that, or fired from his position. I believe we heard that the decision was made by I think Fatu. What's the girl name? Help me here, Joe.
Well, we don't really. She got suspended. I think the person got suspended from by the president. That's what I heard.
Yeah, but nobody questioned the decision of the president.
Yeah.
You went to the whims and caprices of the president.
Right.
Yeah, so the president is still in Bahasa.
Yeah.
And say you fired. That's why I don't feel happy about holding a pointed position.
Right.
Because you answer the whims and caprices of the president. The more the president goes to sleep, and maybe he had you wake up, you have bad dream, when you call you in the morning, say you fired. Right. Nobody questions the authority of the president, so there's no news in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, every good thing will come to an end. Again, we want to thank our guest, Mr. Alfred G. Topa, from the Republic of Liberia, publisher and owner of the People's Newspaper, Liberia. And also, board chairman, Civil Society, working group in the Republic of Liberia. Topa has been a very good friend to this show. He continues to give us information that we need for our Liberian people here in the United States and beyond. And if you just joining me, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Lrtn. My name is G. Mada Cannibal, and of course, Joe Anderson.
Yeah, Mr. Topa, I want to say thank you for coming in, and we want to say thanks to our audience, and we hope to see you in Liberia. We will be waiting with our mega team to see if we can work with us for us to have a good tour of the GFK. Everybody's concerned about the GFK that you talk about. We want to do a live tour in JFK. If you can make that arrangement for us, so we can have our doctors here to talk directly and see what's happening there, because we know that things are breaking down. That's why we're getting the information we get. It's good to have you on, and we hope we work with you. We'll work with you, and you can give us some, valid news from Liberia that will keep our audience moving. And this is the Liberian Radio and Television Network. We want to say thank you. We thank you for coming, and we hope you will donate to this platform as you leave, because you're on live streaming, so people can see it. I know you have an envelope available for us, so look in the camera and let the people know. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lrtn. It's always good to be here.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me say you guys are doing a significant piece of job.
Yeah.
I'm here for another 2 weeks.
Okay.
I'm available anytime.
Okay.
Buy more information for the public.
Okay.
And take it over. Information will be given.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, as I told you, every team must come to an end. Lrtn was in the hot seat tonight. And on behalf of me, man, Joe, and myself, Team Academy, the one that is having you